Hello friends, this is C. Anushka Jain. Welcome back to my channel. In my previous videos, I've already discussed the filling of Part A and Part B of Form Spice Plus. In this video, we are going to take the process ahead and file the remaining forms. Let's press MCA Services and Spice Plus, and then we are going to click on Existing Applications and select the relevant application with which we want to go ahead. And select AGILE-PRO first. This is the form in which you will be taking registrations for GST, EPFO, ESIC, and also enter the details for opening your bank account. Certain details will be pre-filled and they will ask you whether you want to apply for GSTN. See, this is an option. It's not mandatory that you have to take GST registration through this form. If you want to go ahead, press yes, and if not, no. You always have the option to take the GST registration through the GST portal. State and district will be pre-filled based on the information which you have entered while filling form Spice Plus Part B. Whether the establishment is on lease. My case, the assessee, the person who is taking the registration, was not having the premises on lease. So I clicked on no and then selected owned in the subcategories below. Here he will be taking the premises on lease later on. So we have taken an NOC from the landlord stating that she doesn't have any objection if the company uses the address for its registered office. In the NOC, we attached the ownership or the title deed of the place in the name of the landlord, the latest utility bill, it could be an electricity bill or water bill, and the NOC. So when you are done, this will be attached as an attachment to Part B of Form Spice Plus B. So when you are done, you will be pressing Save and Next and coming to the next sheet. Here you will be entering the details of the primary business activity of the company. So there is a drop down list. Kindly go through each of them and select the category for your company very properly. Then select the exact nature of work or business. This is again from a drop down list. If there is nothing which matches your category, go ahead with miscellaneous and then enter the work subcategory. And then you'll have to enter the nature of work business. So this should be in consonance with the objects clause of the company. So be careful when you're filling this up. Press save and next. And in the next sheet, you will be required to fill in the details of the directors. Number of directors will be as you have already set out in Part B of Spice Plus. Then you will be entering the personal details of the directors. If they are already having the DIN, enter the DIN number and press prefill. Name, PAN number will get prefilled. Next, you will have to upload their photo. Upload it and enter their personal mobile number and email ID. Make sure you have a word with the director beforehand because you will be required to verify these number and the email ID through an OTP. So press on send OTP, enter the OTPs which they receive on their phone number and email ID and press on verify OTP. If it is correct, your number and email ID will get saved. So this is the detail of the signing directors. But you also need to enter the details of the other directors. So that you will press add and edit and enter the details over here. Similar to the signing director's details, we will fill the DIN number and press fill and enter their mobile number and email ID, upload their photo, press save and continue. After that, you will be required to select the police station of the company, not the directors. So choose the nearest police station. You can find it out after having a word with the directors. Next, we are required to enter the employer's particulars. This information is required for taking the ESI and PF and ESI registrations. So select the relevant office of your area, the company's area, and select it from the drop down list. Next, you have to enter the bank particulars. Please note that only some of the banks have been integrated with the MCA portal. So like PNB, ICICI, Kotak, Bank of Baroda, HDFC Bank, SBI, Union Bank, IndusInd Bank and Axis Bank. Only these banks have been integrated. So make sure you select any one bank out of them and move ahead by pressing save and next. When you are done, you will be required to upload the proof of identity of the authorized signatory. Could be PAN, proof of address of the authorized signatory, it could be passport, and then there is this requirement to upload specimen signature of authorized signatory for EPFO. So this is not any general signature which you have to obtain. You have to obtain it in any specific format which has been prescribed by the EPFO office. So let me show you that form. This is the form. So here you will put in the name of the establishment, address of the establishment. This is as per the details you have entered in Spice Plus Part B. Then you will enter the name of the directors here, their designation, and 3 numbers of specimen signature. So when you are done, save this form and scan it. And you will be required to upload it on the MCA website. After you are done, press save and next. Next, you will have to click on certain declarations regarding ESIC, EPFO and bank. The bank officials will be contacting you on the number and email which you have given for the authorized signatory. Enter the place and the date when you are filing the form. Enter the DIN number of the director who is signing the form. Then press on pre-scrutiny. If there is any error, it will get highlighted. In our form, we don't have any. Pre-scrutiny is successful. After that, we will press on submit. The next form which we have to submit is AOA. We press on fill button. See, these seem to be very simple forms, MOA and AOA, but please note that these are the forms which require a lot of attention because they define the entire scheme of things which a company can undertake. So be very careful over here. Here the clauses have been filled by ROC. You just need to make any amendment if you need to. In our case, we will be amending 2 clauses, which is clause 1. Here we are going, 2 clauses are already pre-filled. We will be entering the 3rd clause, that the company is a private company within the meaning of section 2 subsection 68 of the Act and having paid up share capital as may be prescribed, and which by its articles certain things which are required to be done. So I will attach this part in the description box. You can have a look from there. Another clause which we need to amend is relating to the board of directors. Scroll down a little. The heading is board of directors. So here we will enter the details of the first directors of the company and that they can appoint other directors as and when needed. This clause also I have attached in the description box. You can copy from there. So other than that, we won't be making any alteration. We will enter the number of subscribers to the memorandum and enter their details, which is name, address, description and occupation. Enter their DIN or PAN and the place. Again, here we will be entering the details of the professional who is going to sign the form. Press check form. If there is any error, it will get highlighted. Then press save and submit. The next form which we are going to submit is Spice plus MOA. Click on fill. Certain fields are going to be auto-populated on the basis of information which you have submitted. Be very careful while you are drafting the objects of the company because you will not be able to undertake any work which is outside the scope of the objects because they are considered ultra-vires. So be very careful, draft the objects very carefully, take professional help if needed. In the furtherance of the objects clauses, there is a fixed 32 clauses which are needed to be filled. I will attach them in the description box so that you can simply copy and paste them and enter them in the furtherance of the objects clause. But my point of concern is the main objects of the company which you need to be very careful about, because that requires some thinking of what the company is going to do. So the words need to be chosen very carefully, because a lot of queries are put up by ROC on these things. Next, we have the share capital of the company. Here we will enter the share capital and show the division of the share capital into the number of shares and the face value per share. You will select the declaration and enter the director's details and the number of shares each one of them have taken. And then you will enter the professional who is going to sign the form. Click on check form. If there is any error, it will get highlighted. If not, press save and submit. The next form is not something that you have to fill. It will be automatically filled by MCA. You just need to download it, attach the DSC and e-file them. So when we are done with all these forms, submission of all these forms, they will give you an option to download these forms. So you can click on them and download these forms, attach the DSC and upload it by pressing on the e-filing section. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.